Okay. Well, I guess we'll just do the same order. So, Monica. Cool. Hi again, Riz. Ah! I totally clicked off the screen. Whoops. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure. Here you go. I give my poem to Monica. I have to pee! Alright. Alright, I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sorts of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case. But maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. So I can scroll down over that, but yeah. Save me. That is what that says, yeah? I'm pretty sure that's save, yeah, save me, okay. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me? Wait, what? Save me and load me? Is this breaking the fourth wall? I can't, though. Hint, you can use the skip button to fast forward through text you've already read. Just making sure. So confused. What does that even mean? The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors, flashing, expanding, piercing, red, green, blue, an endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The voice, or the noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling. Or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game! I just returned now, right? You never know when you might change your mind. Or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. I'm getting a little nervous here, guys. That's Shonatsuki now. We're just going in the same order. Okay. I was gonna say, is your hair always that frazzled? But those are just bows, right? It doesn't mean anything. Okay. Well, it's not terrible. But it's pretty disappointing after your last one. Then again, if this one was as good as your last one, I would be completely pissed. Well, I guess I wanted to try something a little different this time. Fair enough. You're still new to this, so I wouldn't expect you to find your style right away. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Huh? You think so? Yeah. Well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. Wavelength! Is the word again. I don't know if that's actually a thing. But she never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden. Your question mark? Well, I don't know. But honestly, how could someone so... fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way. If it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we take care of each other, or we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Over one time, I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tend not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. You know, I think I see more of the meaning in this one. Look at this, like, you know what I heard about Amy? So this is all based upon a rumor. Based upon a rumor, despite all the good things that Amy has done, you know, specifically like for this girl, or for all the things that she does that this girl appreciates, this girl actively likes herself. She's not gonna like her based upon that one thing she heard that she can't even confirm. Beyond that, she's not gonna like her friends based upon, you know, the concept that, just like the idea, the thought that they might start to like spiders too. The fact that she thinks she doesn't belong in this world because she likes spiders and that's it. I think this speaks on a personal level when you think about how she was rejected by a lot of her friends. You know, based upon the idea of just manga alone, and her fear of that rejection based upon her own hobbies and interests, you know? Like, you could take the spiders, it's gross thing to be like, manga, it's childish. You're a child. Let's see if that was at all what she had in mind. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies. And it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like, anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk, yeah. Do you know people like that? Of course. It's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby, or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they'd make fun of you or think less of you. That's true, yeah. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes, as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least, I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can too. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. I will. Alright, now it's time for Yuri. Let's see what you've written for today. Well done, Riz. Your skills are already improving. Really? Thanks, Yuri. Coming from you, that means a lot. Huh? It's nothing. I'm just happy to help inspire fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry so much if it seems like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings, and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. That's a certainly interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. I have, well, an example of that if you'd like to read it. Of course. Is this the poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and timidly hands me her poem. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of the night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. What? As an unordinary human, okay. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, my subconscious well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. What? A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feel myself again. That is a very emo poem. I mean, let's see. So, okay, so we're saying here, the enticing beauty of cutting knife was the symptom. So the cutting knife is itself a knife. Just so you know, the cutting knife is the knife here. The enticing beauty of the knife, so the beauty is the symptom. Okay. The bread is curiosity, and the raccoon is the urge. So every time the urge comes, she cuts into her curiosity with the knife, with beauty being the symptom and making her feel again. And then you have the rush of blood, which you could just think to mean like the Pavlovian, like the adrenaline or whatever, but that could also be you cut yourself and the blood. And this is a darker one. Just one more time. So the raccoon, the urge. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread. Wait, so she gave the urge some of her curiosity. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not cutting into curiosity so much as it's feeding into the urge. You're cutting the bread, which is a curiosity, but you're feeding it to the raccoon. Okay. My subconscious well aware of the consequences. So you know what you're doing. At least at a subconscious level. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. Urges that are like... yeah, like, performed upon or whatever. Acted upon, there we go. Will return. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed... Oh, and I feed myself again, not feel myself. I feed myself. Either way, though. That's feed myself. So, like, she's becoming more and more one with the urge. Feeding the raccoon, myself. Interesting stuff. It is interesting to try to, like, piece things apart, but I'm bad at it, so... Yeah, I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. Which are what? It's those sorts of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So, I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? She did? Yeah. So it actually does matter what order you read them in? I see. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. Well, that's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I'd probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now. But I'm glad that you're a good listener. I wonder what her hobbies are. But last we have Sayori. Yes? Oh my goodness! This is so good, Riz! I love it! Especially after yesterday's poem. You're too honest sometimes, Sayori. No, but really! I want to put this on my wall! Can I? Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't just like it because I wrote it? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people you know. Or you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Riz poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad. But that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. That's me again. Why don't you at least try giving it some thought? Aw, you want to write something for me? Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess I could. That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad? I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. Well, I like happy the most. But sometimes when you have a little rain cloud on your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug. Fair enough. And make a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Eh? It is? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Riz. I should go write that down then. You can read my poem now, okay? Battles. Or is that bottles? I'm gonna say bottles. I pop off my... Hold on. Okay, bottles. And then I barely read the very first line, it's weird. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all of my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe. And I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in bottles, all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done. I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 inside my head. So she's desperately thinking about other people before herself, taking the happiness away from herself and extending it to other people, but in the end, they just end up wasted on the floor, broken, you know, fragments of what they could have been, had she simply kept them to herself. And then beyond that, she's just left empty inside, where even an echo could find its home. Huh. Interesting. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was gonna write the best poem ever? Yeah, but... I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monika taught me a whole lot. And I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly, but the word choice, yes. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Excuse me? Aw, thanks! I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic! You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah! Writing's the best! I'm gonna keep writing until I die! Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working out on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Okay, alright. Performing? Monica. Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the evening, or during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think that's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There is no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys. No, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I swear I can read. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we could do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but... It looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright! Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Please stop using that kind of foreshadowing. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I'm pretty sure it should be let's move on space to the main event. I'm pretty sure. Because the phrase is move on, you know? And we're not actually like getting onto, prepositionally speaking, any physical thing. So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put a space in there. I just bring that up, or mostly, because it's a literature club. So let's be picky about it. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica! This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Okay, can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monika. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monika finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monika takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monika! Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ah! Yuri's all fired up all of a sudden. I added words, whatever. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. I thought she was telling herself that. You can do it, Yuri. It's called Afterimage of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality and glances around her, as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. And as we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good! Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay! I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. We haven't heard from Natsuki in quite a while now. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori. It's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror, or in your own head. Yeah, that, okay. I'm getting a little lightheaded, I'm sorry. Maybe that's why I'm missing more and more words over time. It's your poem, so it'll come out best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow, it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone, into someone I thought I knew, through and through. Yeah. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Riz liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely. But it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. Then next time, I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now, who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before Riz. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well let Riz lower everyone's standards a little before I have to do it. Thanks. Natsuki? It's fine. I might as well get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. I guess that wasn't even a comment, just sorry I'm not really as good as everyone else.
Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing.
That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe.
Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki.
Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called...
Why are you all looking at me?
Because you're presenting.
Anyway, the poem is called Jump.
Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes, and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat.
That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You'd better not make me do that again.
Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people?
I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me.
Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival.
That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting.
Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead.
That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It really makes me happy, or it makes me really happy.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far. I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait! I can do this. I can do this.
Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and I'm impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best.
Ready to go,
That's me again. Ready to go, Sayori?
Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it?
Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it.
It must be a little nice, though.
Well, how am I supposed to respond to that?
It's okay, Riz. You don't have to say it.
Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori's being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori.
Sorry, I was spacing out.
No wonder.
I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... I mean...
Sayori fumbles with her words.
So, let's just say that one day, Yuri has to walk home with you.
Huh?
What would you do?
What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I would still walk home with Sayori. Sayori, you really think I would ditch you for Yuri?
But she's so beautiful and smart.
Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you.
You're so silly, Riz. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it so.
Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes.
Sorry.
Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival's only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Who knows? Guess let's try to write a poem. Actually, at this point, let's save this. We're gonna save an empty slot 3. How many slots do I have multiple. Oh, I have a lot of save slots. Okay, but yes, we did save, and okay, yeah, I guess it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we can. One episode might be a little bit shorter, or one episode might be a little bit longer, but I feel like we've covered enough for the beginning. I think we're reaching grounds where things are getting creepier, but honestly, if this weren't advertised as like a scarier game, and if it just had the poems, like if it didn't have those warnings or anything at the beginning, I don't think I would find them as creepy, you know? Like, I would find the emotion there in it, but I think that I could relate it to certain things. I mean, like I said, with the whole, like, reaching into, like, opening up your scalp and reaching in, pulling out happiness and stuff like that. Like, I can relate that to the character of Sayori that I've seen so far. I can relate, Natsuki's, poems to her as well, at least the second one. So I guess just to talk about my feelings a little bit on the game as it is so far, I do actually like the game, and I am still afraid for it to get like really disturbing because one, again, disturbingness is just, it's creepy, it's scary. That's why it's disturbing. And I don't know how big a jump it'll take. I have no idea like really what to expect from it. So like, I don't know if they're gonna start, I don't know if they're gonna be jump scares. I don't know if it's all gonna be psychological. I don't know if I'm gonna see a bunch of gore. I don't know if they're gonna suddenly be monsters or possessions or anything, you know? I think it's mostly going to be about, like, based upon what I've seen, as in, like, text and foreshadowing and stuff, I feel like a lot of it's going to come down to, suicide and stuff of that nature. Obviously, I'm not sure, but I feel like that's a big part of the reason they would specify if you have anxiety or depression, it might not be good for you. Because seeing suicide stuff, especially when you get to, like, see the process of it, as in, like, you know, they seemed happy here, but then this happened, and then this happened, and then it led to this, you know, I feel like that could be pretty damaging for some people, or at least effective, you know, it would affect them in certain ways, so. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there, but that's what I'm thinking so far. But you seem to have foreshadowing about, like, again, the pulling of the happiness, the ghost, the club will be the death of me, I would die, things like that, so. You never know, you know, you never know. And, okay, I'll admit, it was creepy for me, just because it was the first time it really happened. When, you know, day 2, she breaks the 4th wall to tell me to save the game. I did not expect that. I mean, that was what the... It's not even that she said that, that was built into the poem. It was called... Wait, what was it called? I know in the end it was called Save Game, and then at the end it was Load Game. It couldn't have been called Save Game from the beginning, could it have? Did I miss that? Did that not even occur to me? I mean, I feel like if it had been Save Game, before I even saw Load Game, I would have thought it was weird, you know? Because I don't think it occurred to me mechanically, Save Game, Load Game, until I saw Load Game, you know? So I'm gonna like go back through when I edit and see if it had a different title, because if it changed when I scrolled down, that's gonna freak me out a little bit, to be perfectly honest. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, I like the game so far. I think it's actually, you know, I like that it's lighthearted. I like that it's sweet. I am honestly not opposed to slice of life stuff, so all of this so far has been fine. And then on top of that, like I said, I feel I can relate to the main character, not entirely, but quite a bit. I like the writing tips that have been given. And it's fun seeing the characters' personalities, you know, I do think that they're cute. I do think that they're fun characters so far, so yeah, it's actually been pretty fun. Very tiring on my voice, and I went through half of this, like, very mildly lightheaded just because of how much talking there was. And throat hurts because of how high-pitched almost all of the dialogue is. Everything but Riz and like the descriptive text, you know, that kind of, it's in character but more his mental stuff. Everything but that is high, so. Oh well, what do you do? Honestly, if it weren't for that, I'd probably just go take a quick bathroom break and then resume, but I think I need to give myself a bit of a break, so yes. I hope that you guys are enjoying my playthrough so far. I know we didn't get into the meat and potatoes and probably what you're looking for, what you're really interested in seeing from this, but I do hope you're having a good enough time. Let me know what you think about it so far in the comments below, you know, whether you're liking it, whether you're disliking it, what you thought about this or that, so on and so forth. I ask that your comments be nice. I mean, if you're not liking something, I don't expect you to watch this far anyway, but I mean, I more mean, I guess when I say that I'll clarify, I more mean, what do you dislike about the game so far? Please don't tell me what you dislike about me or my playthrough, because that'd be mean. Anyway, with that, we're calling it here. Cue outro, go!